Shalom. My name is Yehoshua, and this video is being made from Jerusalem. Barack Obama is speaking in it to Wilson, North Carolina. Congratulations on your campaign to date. I want to suggest the more humble, if that's possible. You're a very humble man to begin with. But I want to correct you. Your ideas are very good ideas, unquestionably. They have high moral ground and ethics, and certainly a world-class man and candidate. But I advise you, as a friend and a very strong supporter, to humble yourself before the God of the cosmos, the God of creation, that I know you love and serve wholeheartedly. Specifically, your ideas are very good, but there's an idea that you've never even heard of, and that idea comes from events that you are not aware of. In particular, I'm talking about the collapse of the local reality that has ended man and mankind's exile. That's an observation that was made only by one very close to God, who revealed to him the meaning of the event. It began on February 26th, 1991. It was repeated December 25th, 1991, when the former Soviet Union collapsed, and so with it, its local reality, that was communism. In physics, when you collapse the local reality, you have the quantum reality. I'll get back to that in a minute. In the next year, in 1992, the collapse of the local reality happened again in Czechoslovakia. Between the Soviet Union and Czechoslovakia, those two communist regimes collapsing produced the emergence of 22 free countries. The God of the cosmos didn't like the big bear's foot on the neck of a lot of people who sought freedom. These events are beyond your comprehension. These ideas are not before your view or your eyes. Only those who are very close to God can discern the grammar, the meta-narrative, and the grammar of these events. Now let's translate this, the ideas. You said nobody's challenging your ideas. Well, certainly I'm not challenging them. I'm saying not only are they superb and excellent, and we love you very much for it, but we insist that with such a special person as yourself, that you raise the bar, that those ideas have to be raised up and yet again to a higher level, because that's God's purpose. You know, He knew you in the womb and chose you for what you're doing today, without a doubt. Now, having said that, the God of the cosmos blesses your efforts, and this is in particular what is to be followed and done. And I'm not asking you, I'm directing you. I'm old enough to be your father. And I'm a didactic scientist, Yehoshua Yaakov, an American citizen living in Jerusalem for 22 years, formerly Michael F. O'Donnell. I too have a very diverse and background, and the probability of Michael O'Donnell being a Jewish leader very close to God in Jerusalem is almost as improbable as you being the president. But that said, that's a story for another time. Now let's get to the idea. You know, nobody questions your ideas. Well, it isn't questioning your ideas, but there's an idea whose time has come, and you don't know of it, but you're going to know about it, and you're going to be the one to bring it forth and to develop, implement, and execute it. Specifically, the new convergence, East-West convergence model, is the result of the collapse of the local reality globally. What happened in the Soviet Union and Yugoslavia next came to Israel in 1995 with the murder of Rabin. The local reality that was Zionism collapsed. It came to Iraq in 2003 with the collapse of the Ba'athist regime. It came to Lebanon, and it came to 5 or 6, 7 other countries around the world since. It arrived in America on 9/11. Okay. The collapse of the local reality brings us technically in physics to the quantum reality, but with one problem. When man and mankind are denying the meaning of the collapse of the local reality is the end of the exile of man and mankind. When Klal Yisrael and man and mankind deny this, it's blocked. So Klal Yisrael first has to end the denial, and so too will the nations and man and mankind in the denial. We will ascend and inhabit the quantum reality, which is redemption of man and mankind. That's an idea that you're not familiar with. And now the particular Humanomics has two paradigms. The central organizing principle is kabel b'shvilatet in Hebrew, which in English is receiving to give. And the second is the integration of labor. The latter is what you will seek a mandate for. First, the DNC has to bring it from the platform committee, and the campaign for president has to be run, waged, executed, and succeed. And you'll be elected based upon running to develop, implement, and acculturate the new economic paradigm. As president, you will seek a mandate from the Congress and receive it to develop a world-class global technological infrastructure based on the new economic paradigm model. It'll require a 4 to 5 trillion investment amortized over 20 years. It'll triple. It'll take us from 14 trillion to 45 to 50 trillion. It will eliminate the national debt, the trade deficit, the social security deficit. It will provide national insurance, health insurance for every American, cradle to grave, free. It will provide for education for every American. And it will lift up the LDCs in the out years with its massive surpluses. Having said all of this, we then see the actual on-the-ground reality of where will this take place. It will be developed at the beginning of the first year of the project. It'll be creating tens of thousands of sustainable domestic content jobs running on through year 11 until America and Americans reach full employment. After that, it will shift dramatically to the G9 and the LDCs. What else is significant at this point in time? The research triangle in North Carolina and the 4 or 5 other significant research parks. This has to be repeated in Indiana and Pennsylvania. We have to retrofit the entire workforce of America, retrain and re-educate. And the 4 major sub-technology models and bring forth to reality the sunrise industries throughout America that will devolve and derive from the world-class global technological infrastructure's development, implementation, and acculturation. Americans were going forward into the bold new world. Barack Obama he has the humility. Now, before you say nobody is challenging my idea, now they're going to talk about you. When they talk about you, they're going to even have more problems. My blessed friend, I think that the attack on Jeremiah Wright, was absolutely, what he says is correct, is an attack on the black church. Look, his flaming rhetoric, when he said, God damn America, he was angry. He was angry at what things were done by the government. He is not angry at the American people. He does not damn the American people, not at all. I have said the very same thing, particularly of a president and a vice president who thinks he's an emperor, who turned his back on a wounded soldier and abandoned him on the battlefront, and sent a pimsqueak to the Justice Department to obstruct justice. I have said the very same thing Reverend Wright did, and the context in which he said it is justifiable. There are many extreme wrongs. I want to remind Americans that the Reverend Wright is a pastor. He's not a politician. And what he spoke, in the context in which he spoke, was as a pastor. And his fiery rhetoric is very mindful of the prophets of Israel. And he had no intent to libel, insult America. He served his country as a Marine. He's a good man, and I admire and applaud Barack Obama for standing by him, his church, his family, and his community, and I stand with him, and I endorse him, and I respect his right to curse the government of America as I curse the government of America for all of the extreme wrongs, the greed, the avarice. What about Dick Cheney's Halliburton? 15.3 trillion and a 3.5 billion, a $3.5 billion profit. That's 23% net, 46% gross profit in 2007. Something is corrupt in Washington, and damn this government of America, because it's a bunch of ganefs. Sorry, that means thieves. And having said that, I applaud his outspokenness, and he has the right to say it. He's an American. He served, and I bless him. And I bless him from Jerusalem in Kabel B'Shvilatet, and most of all, I bless Barack Obama. Good for you for standing. Thank you for listening. Sorry for my bombastic